Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. Happy holiday. While the merry bells keep ringing. Happy holiday to you. Happy holiday. It's the
It's beginning to look a lot like Christmas everywhere you go. Take a look in the 5 and 10, glistening once again, with candy canes and silver lanes aglow.
Welcome to a very Otaku Evolution Christmas. I'm Mike, Penguin Truth, and Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Splendid Kwanzaa, Joyous Life Day, Pleasant Heavens Day, and, Yummy Yule, I guess. I love this time of year. The decor, the cheer, the goodwill towards our fellow man, or penguin, most especially penguins. And yes, of course, the Christmas music. I'm a traditionalist. Oh, not in the I only like religious-themed carols way. Nope, have no use for most of those. I mean, I want to hear Nat King Cole sing Chestnuts Roasting, Johnny Mathis singing It's the Most Wonderful Time of the Year, and Frank Sinatra singing Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. Certain songs only sound right from certain singers. You want to hear Michael Bublé or Josh Groban warble Silver Bells, or Taylor Swift sing Santa Baby? Stay out of my room, stay out of my house, and stay out of my life. Christmas music runs on pure nostalgia and has no place for reinterpretation, even if the versions I like are themselves not the originals. It's not a logical thing. It doesn't have to be. It's Christmas. But as far as anime goes, well, sometimes an old tune benefits from a cover or reworking. We saw this with the Area 88 OVA in Tetsujin 28. It's much the same with the Gundam franchise. For the first decade of its life, the Gundam franchise had been largely under the control of the Big T, Yoshiyuki Tomino, who shaped it in his own vision. But in 1989, for the first time, the franchise was handed over to others, including writer Hiroyuki Yamaga and director Fumihiko Takayama, for the 6-part OVA Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket. As a celebration of the 10th anniversary of the Gundam meta-series, a short story that takes place during the one-year war period was created. Emphasis was put not on the colorful mobile suit designs or fantastical psychic new types, but fallible, vulnerable grunt pilots, and the effect of war on ordinary people. The main character, Al, isn't even a mobile suit pilot, but a small elementary school child. Now I know what some of you were thinking. Yes, all the Gundam protagonists up until this point had also been kids, and moody, sometimes bitchy ones. So was this even younger child going to be an irritating brat too? Well, yeah, of course, he's a 10-year-old boy. But he develops over time. The year is 0079 of the Universal Century calendar. On a neutral space colony free from the raging war between the Earth Federation and the Principality of Zeon, a young boy named Al is growing up. To him and his friends, the war is far away, and fodder for playful conversations and games of pretend. He's got a comfortable life, though his parents are separated, and he even discovers a young woman named Christina has returned to his neighborhood, little knowing what her government work is.
A government job? I was sent up here on very short notice, so it's been really crazy. Mom had to take care of the red tape. Thank God. Just a sec.
Suddenly, the colony's calmness is shattered when mobile suits appear, engaging in combat, and excited by the action, Al investigates the crashed Zeon Zaku at a park. This is where he encounters pilot Bernie Wiseman, played here by Solid Snake himself, David Hayter.
Hey, give it back, you!
You've been busy, haven't you?
It's mine!
Whoa. She's cute. Is that your sister?
Hey, give it back! Give it back!
Hold on, kid. That's a lot of activity for an ordinary cargo container.
Bernie gives Al a badge in return for his camera footage, spotting something that could be useful to the Zeon. A team of operatives called the Cyclops team is informed that the Federation may be conducting mobile suit development at the colony. The team is on edge because of a recent failure to stop the launch of a prototype Fed mobile suit from Earth. Things, didn't go well there. Their superior officer assigns them a new team member, which turns out to be Bernie. Bernie sucks, so their CEO obviously hates them.
The three of us, disguised as civilians, will infiltrate ahead of you and we'll arrange for the cargo offloading. Your job is to fly through the battle zone and head for the spaceport. Any questions?
Sir, well, I'll be disguised as a civilian transport. Isn't there a chance I might get shot by one of our guys?
Well, son, the plan is not for our team to get killed by friendly fire like a bunch of idiots.
When Al spots Bernie and the team back at the colony, he lies his way into their confidence, having pretended to be Bernie's brother to get close to him. Bernie is less than thrilled, but the team captain gives Al a special badge and allows him to collect info for him. His reasoning is keeping Bernie too busy to mess with their mission, though he seems to have an amazing amount of confidence that Al won't squeal on them. Bernie, meanwhile, takes an interest in Al's life and even meets Chris, finding himself attracted to her.
Thanks. See you later, Mr. Wiseman.
Huh? Oh, Miss Mackenzie. You don't have to call me Mr. Wiseman, okay? It's Bernie.
And you call me Chris, okay? All right then. Good night, Bernie.
Good night. Chris, huh?
Al and Bernie manage to find the Federation base on their own, confirming the presence of the new Fed mobile suit. Later, the Cyclops team infiltrates the base together, dressed as Federation soldiers. They intend to destroy the new Gundam with bombs while distracting the Fed forces with the Zeon mobile suit. However, things take a turn for the bad when their cover is blown by a careless comment from Bernie.
Bernie!
One by one, the Cyclops team is wiped out until only Bernie is left. Neither Bernie or Al realize that Chris was the pilot of the Gundam.
If we didn't fight, there would have been more people killed. It couldn't be helped.
I know what you're trying to say, but nobody should ever have to die because it couldn't be helped, not if I had my way.
It's around this time that Al begins to realize the true horror of the war, a war he had always seen as nothing but a fun game. Bernie is tipped off that the Zeon forces plan to use nuclear weapons to wipe out the colony if they can't destroy the Gundam. Fearful and without support, Bernie plans to abandon the colony to its fate. Al feels betrayed at this and the revelation that Bernie exaggerated his skills from the very beginning. He is frightened for himself, his family, and friends, who are none the wiser. This is some of the strongest material in the OVA, where Al has begun to lose his innocence and experiences the terror of war, regretting his previous attitude. Bernie, too, feels useless and guilty, and like he has no choice but to run. This is different than a lot of what we've seen in previous Gundam titles, until this was made. The heroes always seem to have some kind of fortitude and skill that cut through the threats before them, even if they hesitated or suffered. But here our protagonists are in way over their heads. What happens next? Well, find out after this short break. A Very Otaku Evolution Christmas is brought to you by Lucky Squid Studios, creators of Fruitables, Channel Frederator Network, Pengtech Industries, and Anaheim Electronics, not making war, but making war awesome. We'll be back with more on this heartbreaking tragedy after these messages. Say, kids, what's the matter? This war is boring. Yeah, we want a new war. Well, of course you do. Who doesn't? And the people who will bring it to you is Anaheim Electronics. Yes, Anaheim Electronics, the giant robot people. We've been bringing you colorful conflicts for decades. Some might say it's immoral to create weapons for both sides of a conflict, but here at Anaheim Electronics we believe in fair play and neutrality, and the side we take is job creation. Where would the economy be without our steadfast refusal to stop profiting from wholesale murder every couple of years? I shudder to think. So while you're enjoying time with your family this holiday season, just remember, if your soul is weighed down by gravity, it's because you have too much money, so give it to us! Anaheim Electronics, as long as you kill, we shill! We now return to A Very Otaku Evolution Christmas, with our host, Penguin Truth. Picking up where we left off, the colony Al lives on is in the crosshairs of the Zeon. It's not likely the authorities will believe him, and Bernie is looking to escape as soon as possible. But he finds that it isn't so easy for him to abandon Al to his fate.
That's a lie! Bernie, you're good, right?
So, Bernie, can you beat it?
I'm so stupid, I'll never be able to make this call.
And you see, I have lived my whole life in this colony.
Piece of cake.
Deciding he can't run away after all, Bernie and Al plan for another attempt to take out the Gundam before the Zeon can attack. The two decide to use scraps to fix Bernie's broken Zaku, and utilize balloons as decoys to help gain an advantage in battle. While doing this, their bond deepens even further. However, Al is concerned about Bernie's lone battle. Bernie reassures him and tells him to enjoy time with his family and not worry. The night before the mission, Al prays for the safety of the colony in the glow of a Christmas tree, not just for himself, but for everybody there.
Please, you've got to do this one thing for me. Protect Bernie. Please, protect this colony. Don't let everyone here die. Don't let anyone die. Amen.
The next day, as Bernie heads out in his Zaku, Al overhears that the Zeon ship with the nukes was already detained by the Federation. Desperate to stop Bernie from fighting needlessly, Al speeds off towards the Federation base. But the fight has already begun. Bernie activates the balloons, temporarily distracting Chris, allowing him to destroy the Gundam's cannon. The fight turns brutal as both mobile suits and pilots take damage, and Al rushes to the scene. However, as he arrives, he's far too late to stop what's set in motion.
What about the Zaku pilot?
Nothing left, sir. A pile of hamburger.
Hey, kid, you okay? What the heck are you doing here anyway?
What are you doing? Get a stretcher quickly!
Easy now.
Oh God. Give me a minute to compose myself.
With luck, if I do manage to get out of this alive and the war ends, I'll visit you. I'll come back to this colony. That's a promise. See you, kid. Well, I guess that's it. Take care, Al. By the way, say hi to Chris.
Gonna need a little more time. Sometime later, Al runs into Chris on the way to school. She tells him she's leaving the colony and she regrets not getting to say goodbye to Bernie as well, not knowing what happened to him. Al fights back tears as he bids her farewell, the only person who understands the extent of the tragedy that occurred. But he can only hold it in for so long, and at a school assembly bursts into tears. He has learned the wastefulness of war. The story ends as we pan out of the colony and into the vastness of space. Gundam 0080. Gundam 0080 War in the Pocket might be the most tightly written, well-composed, personal entries into the Gundam franchise. It certainly ranks amongst the best in the meta-series. Now, there's not a lot of plot complexities and twists and turns, and you might have seen where it was going while you watched it. But it doesn't lose anything for it, because the execution is nearly perfect. I would go as far as saying it does more in 6 episodes than most Gundam entries do in 40 or more. It doesn't just feel like a contradictory commercial that tries to sell you on the idea that war is bad, but meanwhile go buy these war toys. It's a fully realized story and not just an assembly of various elements. Okay, I chose this OVA to review for Christmas because it takes place around and on Christmas, but doesn't really have much to do with the holiday itself. Even so, it's a testament that while Yoshiyuki Tomino may have started Gundam, it's not solely his domain. It was in good hands here, helped by it being written by the guy who both wrote and directed my favorite anime movie, Royal Space Force: The Wings of Onaemes. So if this OVA ever becomes available again in the North American market, you owe it to yourself to give yourself the gift of Gundam. At 6 episodes, big things come in small packages. On behalf of Otaku Evolution and the folks at the Otaku Revolution site, I want to wish my viewers a wonderful holiday season, whichever holiday you celebrate. Pause and reflect on the value of life and the human race, be it ever so flawed. I've had a lot of fun since I started this show in the summer, and hope the next year brings even more fun, reviewing anime both good and bad. But, I still have one more show this year. It's kind of a clip show, so brace yourselves. Because next time, we'll look at all the English dubs of the things I've covered thus far. Until then, see ya!